Welcome to Entrepreneurs and Leaders. Today we have a guest, Lucy Chen, joining us from San Francisco, USA. So, Lucy, tell us, what are the 5 steps that a startup founder should be doing in order to raise finance?
Welcome to Entrepreneurs Are Leaders podcast with Harry Sardinas. Interviews with world's most influential entrepreneurs that share tips about how to grow your business exponentially. Charismatic speaking, leadership, branding, marketing strategies designed to help you monetize your knowledge, find true happiness, and manifest your goals and dreams.
Yes, of course. It's my pleasure to meet with you, Harry, and also everyone in the audience. So to me, in order for you to be successful, there are several steps, or maybe I condense them into 5 steps in order for you to be successful, no matter where you are. And I understand that you are an entrepreneur, and really shout out for you for taking the very first step, right? So regardless what you are doing, what industry are you, I summarized the 5 steps. Very simple. The very first one is dream big, right? So only when you have that mindset out there, you are telling yourself you're going to be successful, you can push forward. If on day one you think, okay, I'm going to be, making just a little money and barely make it, you're not going to push yourself forward. So really number 1 is dream, but dream big. Number 2, I want to focus on building your habits, right? So a lot of times said, okay, I have a big dream. I have everything. I have the vision boards and everything and the plans, but how are you going to implement, right? A lot of time, okay, you're a dreamer. Yes, you're good, but you need to be a doer, right? Everything is really based on what kind of actions or steps you're taking. So habit is really number 1. You want to really cultivate your relationship with yourself, with others, and also the habit of positive talking to yourself. So each day we live in our virtual reality, right? But really the habit, how are you going to get up? How are you going to plan for your day? And how are you going to improve? So if you have read the book of Micro Habit, it's really talking about the 1% improvement each day. But how are you going to take that, right? Build a habit. Remember the book about, 21 days of your habit, but you focus on your habit. And after a year, remember 38, 39%. So that's number 2. Number 3, I would say, count on your supporting system. We cannot live alone, right? In order to run your business and to grow your business, you need to build a really supportive network and connections, right? Connect with others, learn from others, and they would help you, right? You help others and they help you in order to be successful. Number 4 would be build your brand. Become visible. So a lot of times, especially I'm an Asian, right? Okay, I hate to be in the spotlight. I don't want to be putting myself out there. But in order for you to really grow your business, and people need to trust you, right? Build your personal brand, build your company's reputation, put yourself out there. Being visible, right? Write your blogs, build a blog, so your website, and talking with people, right? Like me and you are talking.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right, sharing your experience and writing a book, right? So I recently published my book last year, so that it really helps me tremendously become a coach, right? So I coach people how to become successful in life and in corporate world and become a successful founder. So that's number 4. Number 5 is being focused and being patient. A lot of times we said, I've been implementing this strategy for 6 months, 9 months, and 12 months. I don't see any growth, right? And I got distracted. No, you want to be focused, prioritize, and focus on one thing that you could do to help yourself, and be patient. So you are like a gardener, right? You plant a seed and you don't want to just uproot everything to see whether this seed is already sprouting or not. Be patient and focus. So those are the 5 steps, very simple steps. And I hope that some of you think that, okay, some of the steps resonate with you.
That's amazing, Lucy. So the 5 step how people can become successful, right? So now tell us a little bit more about yourself, because there are completely different. It's totally different to have a corporate life and corporate job, yeah. Right. And now you change and you have your own business, which is so I'm really sure that you have a corporate job. That. Corporate make you very comfortable. They pay you a lot of very good money. They keep you very safe. So why you decided to abandon these safety nets to become an entrepreneur and to own your own coaching business, which is something that's a little bit risky? Do you talk with your family, with your friends? Did somebody told you that maybe this was not a good idea? Why you made this change?
Right. Great question. If you read the book called Start With Why, Simon Sinek, he's talking about, right? So everything we do is we have a self-motivation inside of us and driving us to go forward. That's our value and purpose, right? So I've been in the U.S. for the past 30 years. I grew up in China, by the way, and I came to the U.S. in 1994. And really, I put all of my energy and dreams and passions climbing the corporate ladders, and I reached the really top, right? So, wow.
Lucy, you're making a lot of money. You're making a lot of money. You are successful. So why you let all that go?
Right. So there are a couple things. Number one is I feel that at this stage of my career, I no longer have the passion of climbing the corporate ladder, right? I could be like, okay, the chief risk officer, since I work in the risk management side, or even the COO or CEO, right? But really, at the end of the day, so what can I achieve? My dream or my values, right? Is really number one, as a coach, to inspire others, empower others to continue their dream, right? That's why a lot of times that I feel so fulfilling when I see young people or someone that in my network grow after I coach them. So that's really number one, see other people's growth. And number two, I feel that, okay, life is short, right? I'm in my 50s already. So how many years up forward in my career? Well, maybe 10 years, 15 years, somewhere around that time. But I would think that as an immigrant, I moved to this country. I earned I learned a lot of the values, and I want to give back. I want to give back. And also, I want to use my knowledge and experience to help someone as myself. Asians, immigrants, women, and someone has a dream.
Good.
So, So I want to really...
That's amazing, Lucy. That's because, sometimes you realize why we do things, right? And I had to tell you, because the first business that I did, I wanted to become a millionaire. I have this in my head. I want to become a millionaire. So I started my first business, I think 17 years ago, a long time ago. And then, but what happened is I did it for the money. So I want to become a millionaire. Guess what? I make $1 million. But in the business, it was a property business. I like it, but I was not passionate about. So you make the money, but there is no fulfillment, right?
Right.
And then eventually this business will de-escalated, when the year passed, because it was not a passion, it was not a fulfillment. Don't get me wrong, the business was making money. Then you realize yourself, why do you really love? I do, and then you find your purpose. Now I
Yes.
do events all over the world. Yeah,
Mhm.
in Singapore, in London, in
Right.
Mexico, Peru, and I do these big talks, conference in universities also.
Right.
Uh, to empower entrepreneurs to start up the business and to grow the business, yeah, or to the
Right.
students. And then
Right.
when sometime I'm in the subway here in London, and because I dress very colorful, people they're easy to recognize me. They will never forget when they saw me on the stage, and they are like, Harry, this is you, Harry. Man, I saw your conference. I saw your conference and I applied to my business. This is my family. This is my children. I'm making a lot of money. I took note what you say, man. And look, I'm doing amazing. Thank you so much. Let's take a picture. I'm a little bit embarrassed in the tube, looking everywhere. Everyone looking at me like a strange. And I'm a little bit embarrassed. But when I arrive home, the level of fulfillment that you feel when you
Right.
transform someone's life, there is no money in the bank account that can give you that joy. Yeah, I'm also an immigrant.
Exactly.
Yeah, I immigrant from Cuba to Spain and then to London. So, or you
Right.
can help someone to transform. I think that fulfillment, money is not gonna give you fulfillment, but when you
Right.
transform someone's life,
Right.
and you make it different for the life of all, the level of fulfillment, you get paid in better currency.
Right.
You get
Totally.
paid currency better than money. You get paid in love, in appreciation, in
Right. Yeah.
in love,
Totally.
in
Right.
in the people. The people see you and you see the smile on their face when they see you, and
Oh,
they
yes.
Harry,
Yes.
come, let's talk. How are you?
Right.
So people,
Right.
you make a difference in their lives. You get a lot of love from people, yeah. And this
Of
energy
course.
is good. Is it give you health. It give you stay in the positive state. And at the end
Right.
of the day,
Right.
Lucy, it's not about
Right.
it's not about having a million. You know what is better? To have a millionaire lifestyle, which you do what you
Right.
love, you feel fulfilled, and then you're
Yes.
making a difference for others. Now, I want
Right.
to applaud you because this demographic that you're helping is actually
Mhm.
the minorities, right? So you're helping
Yes.
women and you're
Right.
helping
Immigrants.
immigrants, yeah?
Mhm. Right.
So you are a finance person, yes? That's all your corporate
Yes.
career is in finance. So I have a question
Right.
for you. Why do you think that immigrants and women they get less funding than men when actually
Mm.
they are quite capable to? I interviewed the Minister of Finance of Zimbabwe like a month ago, and they
Mm.
were doing loans for in the country to grow vegetables, and
Mm.
he told me that of all the loans that they give out there, women
Mm.
were paying back the loans and asking for more loans to grow the micro business and start up better than
Mm.
men. They were paying better the loans. They were
Right.
basically more risk
Right.
best because the women cannot lose this business because they have kids and so on, right? So
Right.
why women are so amazing? They are so powerful. It doesn't matter if you're Chinese, black, red, or whatever.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Why the funding? Why so little funding available for minorities and women compared to men, to white men?
Right, right. Totally. I mean, this is a big topic, right? If we're talking
Tell
about,
us.
okay,
We want to hear from
EI,
you.
right, or if we're talking about equality and everything, and so average, if we're just regardless of being a founder or not, right? Just look at the compared to men, the earning, the salary, the hourly pay, right? Women is about like 70 to 80%, or 80 or 7 cents to 80 cents compared to the men who earn $1, right? So
So who's
just
responsible for this?
yeah, so there are a lot of factors, right? If we're talking about Western world, I mean, even the Asian world society, one thing is about the culture, right? Just think about the women historically for thousands of years, they are secondary. Yeah, me as a women, we're secondary. We're not really up to the level of visibility, given the opportunities, and we're perceived someone relatively weak. We're perceived as a non-leader role, right? We're supportive, we're caring. all of these, right? A good virtue for women across all countries and cultures is, okay, you're nurturing, you're a healer, you're a carer person, rather than someone that, okay, I can lead a troop, or I can lead the business, right? So historical reason and the culture, right? It's gonna
But how
be
much women have to prove themselves? Because, I find amazing CEOs, amazing entrepreneurs, amazing multimillionaires,
right.
amazing women that make a big difference in society. So how much more women have to prove themselves in order to take them
Exactly.
seriously, especially with
Right.
the funding.
Oh my goodness.
If you are a woman of color, or you're an Asian, and you're in United States, and you're a woman,
Right.
chance of finding finance for your business is
Right.
is really tiny. Yeah.
Yeah.
Try to
Totally.
find funding for your coaching business, and you will see.
Hey, right. Totally. I just participated in this investment.
And you are a finance person. Yeah, you should be.
Right.
It should be easy, right?
Right. So I just participated in this discussion and a webinar last week. And really statistically, for female founders or any business that founded at least the one female founders, only 3%. Only 3%.
They're funding the funding.
Right.
Look at that. Wow.
Like angel investment or SPVs or
It's ridiculous. It's
ridiculous. Yeah. But I mean, at the same time, I can see that the light toward the end of the tunnel, a lot of awareness raised, and also especially as you said, okay, how many women's success that prove were capable and etc. Right?
Yeah, but how they gonna prove themselves if they don't get the money in the first place?
Oh yes.
They should say how many men fail. Yeah, when they get the money and they take so much risk and they lost everything. Yeah.
Right.
If they could publish that, yeah, they would be shocked. Yeah. So the thing is, like, from this organization, this podcast, and from Speakers and Leaders, we talk a lot about social responsibility, because people think that, putting this plastic bottle in a bin, they're saving the planet and they're social responsible, but includes more than that social responsibility. We have to save the environment, but also includes to empower the entrepreneur to grow, regardless if there's women, men, empower the minority to be able to be entrepreneurs and to start their own small business. Also includes to contribute to your community, to your charity, in your local community. So and diversity is a big part of this. And,
absolutely.
And there are we believe that if we want a world to be a better place, right? We have to address all these issues parallelly, right?
Right.
The other day, we Muhammad Ali Jr., the son of the boxer, attended to one of my workshops, and he's doing a documentary about Parkinson, and he find out that that only white people are taking a place in the research for the cure. That they're not taking all the races in consideration in order to find a cure. So if you're doing like this, maybe you will be able only to cure white people. If you're taking only from white people, so it's bias everywhere you go. Yeah,
of course.
Nothing against, totally the opposite. We should find the cure of the disease, but we should do it in a more inclusive way.
Yes.
It's gonna be better for everyone, because those companies, what they don't realize, when they grow, they have the clients, but the clients are from everywhere. The clients are Chinese, the clients are black, the clients are everywhere, and you don't have in your culture, in your community, in your company, that from the beginning, that diversity. Eventually, the clients are getting very savvy now. They will realize, like, I don't see myself represented with this company, right? So in the end, actually backfire to them, So, so Lucy, what can be done? What can be done to raise more awareness, to get more inclusion, to get more funding, to women and to with diversity. I think one thing that we should do is to put the people in charge of the money to put more women. Yeah, all these venture
Yeah.
capitalists and all this funding, they are a lot of male dominated company. In my opinion, they're leaving a lot of money in the table.
Right. Right.
A lot,
Yes.
just to don't give a chance for women.
Right. Right. Totally. I mean, I agree with you. So, there are a lot of things that we could do, right? One of which would be putting minorities in the power seats, right? So I'm a part of this network called the Chief. Chief Network is the only private network for women executives in the US, well, now across the board. So a lot of minorities, people participated as well. And so I joined the Chief 3 years ago. And the whole slogan is to keep the women in the power seat. So other women could perceive, okay, this is the possibilities, right? Their dream could come true. And so really inspire people to follow. And other methods exist as well, right? This is just one example.
Yeah, but the other thing, Lucy, is that because I find this the other day, one of my students, she's an amazing Harvard graduate. Yeah, she was working in a finance company, and they hire her only to say that they have a woman in the board. Only for they were not taking take the consideration. They were not taking their opinion. Finally, she's about to quit and start her own company. Same as like you, yeah. So sometimes these big companies say, "Oh, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna find a Harvard graduate. We're gonna put it there in the C-level to say that we are inclusive, but we don't take any consideration on any opinion." This happens a lot in corporate, right?
Right, totally. But I mean, the good thing is, as you can see, more and more company pay attention to the percentage. At least they measure, right? They disclose and they publish that, okay, percentage.
They have to do it because when the people don't buy from them.
Of course, yes.
That's what they're doing it now. Like I said, the consumer is getting very savvy. These companies don't start to take inclusion and the women seriously. They now that 50% of the clients, they're not gonna buy from.
Right.
So, Lucy, in the end, but the other thing is, I think that when it comes to corporate, correct? It's true that they make you very, very comfortable, but in the end, when you're in this environment, you only know specific about what certain job role.
Right.
And if you are out of this job role and you lose your job, you are at zero. Whether now you quit this job and now you become an entrepreneur, which is totally the opposite to have a corporate job. It's from day and night, because in the corporate job, you have to become really, really good at some specific thing. In an entrepreneur is completely different ballgame. You need to learn a little bit of so many things.
Yes.
So it's a big change, and you have to do podcasts, you have to do this, you have to do a lot of things that you're not doing in your corporate life. Yeah. So how are you coping with that change? And what do you advise to corporate people, that they're there but they're not happy. They're suffering. They know that they can do something better, they can do something bigger, and they're just trapped in this job because they want to keep their house. They want to keep this big car. They want to keep all this lifestyle that, they're showing to everyone that they have. But at the end, they are not fulfilled. They are empty. They're just going there just to, like a robot, just to work and come back and then forget about everything the weekend. And this is how they're living their life, right? So what advice do you have for these corporate women or corporate people in general that they are not fulfilled, but they feel like trapped, that they still need to go because otherwise what they're going to do?
Right. I mean, I totally understand, because I'm experiencing that, right? Or I've already passed that stage. So number one, I would say is, again, value, right? Value and purpose. And
because not for everyone to become an entrepreneur and a coach, yeah?
Exactly. Not everyone, right? So you got to really understand your value, your purpose, right? Working in a corporate at Wells Fargo, you feel comfortable, you feel, okay, really brings you the finance, the whole goal and raise your family and everything, it's fine, right? As long as it's not really toxic environment and pushing you to the crazy, out of your mind state.
Sometimes you find that also in corporate, toxic environment drive you crazy. Then you end up with the stress and so on. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So again, really evaluate what do you really want in life, right? Ask yourself that. And that's also a self-motivation to push forward and to become a founder, right? And number two, I would say, always keep on learning things. So I'm the person, I would say I'm myself is a life learner, right? Open your mind and to try different things, right? If you only work in a very natural field or only one role for the rest of your life, you really lost the opportunity of growth,
100%.
Right, to explore, because the whole wide world for you to grow and to explore, right?
Look at you. You already wrote the book. You become a coach. You're helping people. You have done a lot of things. Since you've done a lot of things that you didn't know that you could do, right?
I never imagined, because I'm a STEM major, right? The engineering, I studied environmental engineering. I got my master's degree. I never imagined I could write a book.
Look at that. And you have a master's degree.
Right. And then look at that. And I'm able to, because I never thought that I had the literacy talents, but I published my book within 1 year. Yeah. So last year.
And why you discover? Why you discover all this process? You discover that in the end of the day, it's all in your mind. You say, oh, who am I to write a book? Well, you look all the years of experience that you have in corporate, just started.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And at the end of the day, you write in the book for the people, that need this advice. Yes, you don't write in a book, I don't know, to give it to Obama to teach. You're not going to teach leadership, Obama, or, you're not writing this book for him. You're writing this book for the startups, entrepreneurs, and the founders and the CEO that they need to learn what you know. Yeah, it's like the other day, I was talking with someone and I said, no, I want to write a book about investing in stocks, but who am I to write this book? I said, look, what do you mean who you are? You're not writing this book for Warren Buffett. You write a book for people like me who don't have any clue about
it. Exactly.
So for me, you are an authority and you know your stuff because you have your experience. For me, and your book is for me. You're not writing for Warren Buffett. So all this conversation that goes in your head, who am I to write the book? Is all on in your head, because at the end of the day, a lot of people can benefit for your experience, for what you know, for what you have experience, and you actually can help a lot of people. Think about the people that you can help rather than who am I to write this book? Yeah, I had this dilemma when I was to write my first book. Same times, and this is what we communicate. On the other hand, writing a book is like a gym for your mind. Actually help you to put all your thoughts together, to put everything together, and to have a part that probably those principles for this book is what you apply just to the entrepreneurs or the women that you coaching. So Lucy, what do you think that that in your opinion, what is the main reason why small businesses are failing in United States?
I mean, there are a lot of factors, right? Also depends on what industries you're talking about, and also just from different angles. But I'm going to share very quickly. One of the things would be the mindset of the founders, right? How you're going to stick to your plan and focus and move forward and implement your strategies. Number two, I would say maybe about funding, about finance, right? How you manage your finance and how you manage your resources would be another one. And number three, I would say really related to the market and how you catch up with the market, right? So maybe you have a good thoughts, but in a year or two, if you do not make changes and to catch up, your product or service may not be relevant anymore, right? Implement and say, for example, AI, right? With all of the disruptions, how are you going to catch up and really ride with economics challenges? So a lot of things that for founders, there are challenges, but I think fundamentally, the number one is the mindset, right? We all face challenges and how you can rise up and overcome the obstacles and move forward. People fail, right? All the time. We make mistakes all the time, but how can you really dust off and stand up tall and move forward? So really a lot of things. And of course, maybe, like this, at the same time, at the side is, okay, take a risk, right? Jump out of your comfort zone and continue to grow. So there's just a lot of lessons, of course, and depends on your industries.
Yeah. So, and then Lucy, so on the other hand, we find sometimes that the entrepreneurs out there, they find resistance when it comes to hiring a mentor, to hiring a coach, because they have this ego within themselves that they don't need help. They can do everything by themselves. And they don't have the patience to ask for help.
Right, exactly.
So then Lucy, what advice do you have for those entrepreneurs?
Yeah, so I'm a coach myself, right? So I got benefits from other people coaching me and mentoring me. And so a lot of times people say, hey, I don't need a coach. And so it's like, okay, do you think President Obama had a coach, right? So if you want to be the tip top, you want to be a high achiever and a performer, people hire a coach. Say, for example, if you're an Olympian, right? Competing at the Olympics, I don't see anyone, every single Olympian has their coach, right? At that harsh competition, you need someone who has knowledge, energy, holding you accountable and a schedule and everything, right? To help you to make your success faster, more efficient, right? Compared to someone who do not have a coach, and how can they compete at the Olympian level, right? So that's just one example that I want to share with everyone. So definitely hire a coach, relevant one, and learn from them and going forward.
Yeah, exactly. So, okay, Lucy, so if somebody want to learn more about what you do, how they can find you, how the process works.
Right. So I do have my website. Well, later on, I can share that with you. It's called Gifted Coaches. giftedcoaching.info. So that's my website about me, my work, and my book and everything. Also, I can be reached through LinkedIn. I'm very active and I have more than 10,000 followers there.
Wow.
So LinkedIn, I'm a professional. So I have my space out there and reputation. So reach out to me and connect with me. Or, of course, you can follow me through my book, right? Amazon.
Where can they find your book? Where can they buy your book?
Yeah, so if you search Google, right, Build Resilience, Lucy Chen, I'm the only one. They can definitely contact me, by visiting my website and follow my blog or my newsletters. So it's a good way. Yeah, and I love connecting with others and to really keep my curiosities out there.
Yeah, I like the last word that you put in your book, lead. Yeah. So why did you end up the subtitle with lead? Yeah.
So I mean,
leadership. How important do you think is leadership?
Right. So very interesting. Very quick. I want to share. I wrote this book after my father passed away 2 years ago. In 2022, my father was the most influential person in my life, and to me, he's everything. He's the represented or the symbol of love, caring, inspiration, and leader. Not only in my house, he's the leader, right? He also leads. He's really active in the community and also in his work, right? He's a strong leader. So I started, my mom's story, my dad's story, my own immigration story and everything. But I changed it. Me and my editors worked together and said, okay, I want people to think this is relevant because I don't want to say, okay, look at me, how great my family is. No, I want people to say, oh, there are some practical tools
that you can actually learn. Absolutely.
Exactly. So this book has become a self-help book, how to build resilience.
Great idea.
Yeah, so live is about our personal life and learn, right? We can always learn from others, from coaches, from people that are ahead of us and mentors. And lead is really make an impact and to be a leader in your life, in your business. Yeah. Yeah.
So thank you so much, Lucy. Yeah, and I've been in Chinatown in San Francisco. It's huge. Yeah,
Okay.
One of the biggest in the world. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd love to meet you in person.
Nothing to do with the London one. The Chinatown in London is too small compared with what you have there. It's just huge. Right. Yeah. So do you think that that Asian women entrepreneurs, what can be done for in the community in order to give them some support, some framework, so they can start and grow the business? Because that's the thing, people can have a job, and there is nothing wrong with this. Yeah,
right.
They are happy, they are fulfilling that job. It's amazing. Yeah. However, there is a second choice that people have. They can create their own job, something that you're passionate about, something that you love, and you create your own job, you create your own lifestyle business.
Totally.
So any advice that you have for not only for Asian women, for women in general, in the United States, all over the world, that want to follow the dreams, they want to create their own job, and they want to have a sense of fulfillment for whatever they are creating, right?
Right.
So what advice do you have?
Yeah. So very short, a couple of things. So number one is what I learned from my mom, who's a World War II survivor and orphan, right? So she really overcame a lot of life challenges.
Wow.
So I learned from her. She always told me, whatever you do, right? Girls are as capable as boys. Whatever boys can do, you can do it.
Wow,
and people look down on me, and I never look down on myself. So really, number one is for women, for anyone, right? Just tell yourself you're capable and you have your resources here internally. You can overcome anything. Okay, that's number one. And number two is, of course, tied to what I mentioned earlier, dream big, right? Jump out of your comfort zone. Of course, strategically. I'm not talking about, quitting your job right away, right? Like me, I started my coaching as a side hustle 2 years ago, right? I have this passion. I understand my value. Run something, test it, and see if it is really your true passion, right? As a side hustle and build your reputation, right? And eventually you can convert, right? Strategically, but ultimately, dream big, jump out of your comfort zone, continue to learn.
Yeah, and I love what you said, Lucy. Is that, open your side hustle strategically, Yes. Because we don't want people to quit overnight. Even when I started my own business, I started my first business and as a side hustle, and I was working at the same time. I actually went full time in the business because I think the money that I was making one day in the business was making in a month working, and that was the day that I quit. But in the same time, I was building as a hustle. So. And also, the other thing that you said, which is very important, is check if you really love it, you're really passionate about it. Yeah.
Right.
I got a brilliant idea to open a restaurant. I thought that I love cooking, and I love to have a restaurant. I thought I have a great passion for it. And after 2 years, then I lost 200,000. I'm telling you, I don't want to. Harry, let's do a restaurant. I said, hold on a minute. This is not as happy as you think it sounds, because I already had one, and it's tough, So you need you have to really love food. Honestly, you need to really love it so much, and be passionate about it in order to succeed in this industry. It requires a lot of operation, you name it, a lot of skills.
Yes.
Yeah, it's something that that definitely is not for everyone, to have a restaurant success. I applaud on the restaurants owners that they're successful. I always talking to them. I said, look, if you're successful, you're making money in restaurants. What are you doing restaurants? Because it's so complex to make money. You should be doing something else, man. Open something else. You're gonna go to the sky, because the amount of skills that you need to have in order to have a restaurant, make profit, you have to have a lot of skills. You're a proper entrepreneur, because you have to manage the teams, the food waste, the the food. Anyway, so there's a lot going on in restaurants. Definitely you're not bored. You're not gonna be bored if you own a restaurant for sure. So Lucy, thank you so much. I really appreciate that you spend this time with us. Keep growing, keep building your coaching business, keep helping women, keep helping minorities, keep helping actually everyone.
Yes.
At the end of the day, this is and inspire people to like I said, this is what we do in this podcast. We support the entrepreneurs. We give them framework. We give them stories like yours. And we want all of them to have a point of reference, right? So when they have moments that they are not feeling, they're feeling down, they're about to give up, they think things are not working, well, they can find some role model stories that they can apply and give them back the power, so they can start and grow their own business and create their own job, which is something that we believe that is possible for every single human being in this planet. Okay, so thank you so much, Lucy. And for all of you, see you in our next episode of Entrepreneurs Are Leaders, how brave entrepreneurs like Lucy that create an amazing business to change the world. Bye for now.
Follow us for more on charismatic speaking, leadership, exponential business growth, branding, marketing, strategies designed to help you monetize your knowledge, find true happiness, and manifest your goals and dreams.